Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. Madam Clerk, could you please read the roll?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr.
Here.
Nichols?
Sorry.
Here.
Ms. Creighton-Smith? Here. Mr. Childs?
Here.
Mr. Simon?
Here.
Ms. Wilder?
Here.
And Mr. Foyce?
Here.
All right, thank you. Please join me in a moment of silence. All right, thank you. The pledge this evening will be by Steve Simon, at-large councilman.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I would like to make a motion for approval of the agenda as amended in resolutions number 16. That one we are not going to take up tonight. Remove 11. Oh, geez, I was
16, the dollar amount.
11. Sorry, 11. We're going to move. Thank you. And then on number 16, the dollar amount is changing to $4,050,000. And then I would also like to make a motion for approval of the minutes of the November 17, 2025 regular council session and the November 24, 2025 council special session as proposed.
Second.
Second. That motion's been made with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we have an agenda. All right, first up is oral presentations, your opportunity to address the council on non-agenda related items.
Mayor Stacy Roberts,
Yes, sir.
411 Almond Street. With liberty and justice for all is what was said, but that's what's being denied, and that's what makes us, my children and myself, be enslaved. This didn't start once I said, I told you about 5 years ago, it started with the roof error. And one thing that always stuck with me, me and my brother had purchased the property I'm living in now, and it was Black Hawk Plumbing, I think, that he owned, and it was the highest bid. And I asked my brother, why did you go do that with our money, you know? And we went back and forth over that briefly and let it go. So that's how far back this goes. And some of his family I grew up with, and they have pretty much implemented him in this, what I'm talking about. There's quite a few other financiers and stuff like that that have been a part of it. The problem that really has me is the way my children have been treated. We're not able to communicate. And there was a song by Stephen Marley, Hey Baby, that I would send to my daughter, that this is going on the 13th year since I communicated with her. And with that being said, like the plague put on the Egyptians by God through Moses to free the enslaved Israelites, God's wrath will come on this criminal organization through me to free my children. There's not just Chelsea and Dustin, there's also Joshua, who the police in Waterloo would be familiar with and connect him with me through his fight to try to get justice for himself. And with that criminal organization and what they have done to my children, like I said before, is far worse than Anne Frank, because this is going on in real time. Unlike the plague on the Egyptians, there will be none of the first 9 plagues, but 10 will affect all of their children, as well as anyone else they may love. Like Juan Valdez, when we were kids, the coffee bean commercial, some of you might remember, he handpicked each bean. In this particular plague, God will handpick each one of these family members and deal with them throughout 2013, being this is the 13th year that I have been unable to communicate with my daughter. And to tell you honest God truth, it probably go back to 98, 99, since they've had my children enslaved through Stockholm Syndrome. So this is what we can look for. And Chief, I'm looking for you to get some calls on this matter, because the way God is getting ready to heat this up, they're going to want to tell. They're going to have a reason to tell. And this is what has to happen. You all have a good night.
I'm Mary Potter, trustee of the Grout Museum,
And last time you told me you would all be willing to hang a poster in your office or somewhere in a window. So I'm going to hand those around, and you have nothing to do, right? On this, it's telling you about Christmas at the Russell Square. And this, of course, deals with the two houses that are located across from the grout, one past the block, or one past the park. And on Saturday night, we are going to have this Christmas at Russell House. And we are going to be having some live music. The children, the adult children from LaPorte City will be entertaining. Also, a part of the Metropolitan Chorale will be there. In addition to that, over at the Russell House, the Russell Rensler House, there will be live music being played on the piano, the grand piano there. But the thing that you're going to most look forward to is there are refreshments. And you will enjoy those because we're going to have special cookies and special drinks and all that. In addition to that, I would like to mention to you that when you're thinking about Christmas gifts, you might want to consider supporting a child, a family, whatever, and giving them a gift of a membership. On the other hand, you might also consider making a gift to the Grout, and that would be in the form of a membership. The Grout is driven by memberships. Without memberships, we are in bad shape. You know that our levy has been taken away from us, and that is causing a huge problem. So I would ask that if you have a heart of hearts and want to give a little gift to the Grout, buy a membership this year or support it with a donation. Thank you very much.
Special cookies, like,
Megan Butler, 818 Clow Street. And I wanted to make a note, just talk about me personally a little bit first. Knowing someone personally doesn't mean they're without flaws. We all make mistakes. We all have poor reactions to situations. Just the other day, I was super frustrated with my children, and I yelled at them, and it was not good. And when my husband called me out for that, and told me, hey, you shouldn't be talking to our kids that way, I was glad. I took the feedback and was like, you are correct. And I apologized to my kids, and I am making an effort to not do that anymore because an apology without behavior change doesn't mean anything. And I'd like to relate that back to a couple things that I had to talk about here at the council. One is last council meeting, I wasn't here, but I watched it online afterwards. And there were a lot of public comments about racism and some posts that were made. And I think it's important to know that you can do a racist action and learn from it and do better and not be a racist person. Like even I, as a white person, I make racist mistakes all the time. And when I'm called out for them, I try my best to not make this mistake again. But knowing if I slip up again, I hope somebody holds me accountable. The second thing I'd like to note is I had an interaction with the fire and police department a couple weeks ago with a homeless man in my neighborhood that I have been just checking on and caring for. And he had started a fire in the garage, which he should not have done, but it was a cold November night. And when the firefighters came, they took out the 2 logs, set them outside. And the council all knows this, and so do the firefighters, because I've already emailed them about this. But for the community, they decided after the fire was put out to water down his clothing, which a homeless individual on a November night, there could have been embers in them is the information I was given, but I was standing there. The logs were already outside. They were already extinguished. So regardless, I wanted to get some feedback on what we're going to be doing differently to make sure that we're caring for our most vulnerable people, because Brad did not deserve that night. He already is homeless. He doesn't need his clothes getting wet. And I know safety is important, but we weren't in a rush or anything. And then I got feedback back from the chief and I don't remember, Marshall, I don't remember what the names are, but saying that this firefighter is a veteran and he is compassionate. And I'm like, I am compassionate too, but I make mistakes. Just the other day I yelled at my kids. And it's okay to make a mistake, but it's important to be able to take the feedback when you're called out and not just stand up and say, hey, I did the right thing, I followed all the rules. Even if you're following the rules, you can sometimes do better.
thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening, Jessica Rucker, Main Street, Waterloo. As we know, we had a large snow event on Saturday, which significantly impacted our downtown businesses with Small Business Saturday. So we are unofficially doing a redo for this Saturday, December 6th. So I am begging and pleading everyone to come out and support small businesses on December 6th. At 10 a.m., we will be handing out the swag bags for the first 100 shoppers that come to downtown Waterloo. And we'll also have Santa starting at 11 a.m. So the holiday season is one of the most important seasons for our small businesses, and anything we can do to support them, especially after having a rough weekend because of Mother Nature, I would greatly appreciate you guys all supporting local. Thanks.
Mr. Mayor,
Thank you. Yes, sir.
where will these swag bags be?
Swag bags. Where can you get a swag bag?
So I will be at Anton's Garden starting at 10 a.m. It's a collaboration with Grow Cedar Valley and Community Main Street, Cedar Falls. We have reusable bags that have coupons, gift cards, and some surprise items for some lucky winners if you come and grab one from us. That we're doing them in Waterloo and in Cedar Falls.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Council?
motion to close public comment?
Second.
Motion been made with second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public comments closed.
Mr. Mayor,
Sir?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the addition of bills payment 1A1 for November 24th in the amount of $6,208,048.85, and for December 1st, $7,345,187.66.
Second.
Motion's been made with the second. Mr., did you already remove it?
No.
Mr. Bozen?
What's that?
Did you want to remove 16?
Yeah, I apologize, yeah. I just wanted to talk about it separately.
All right, so all of those items, and then we will move 16 for further discussion. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes,
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith? Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
I'd
sir.
like to make a motion to receive and file the 2026 budget for Waterloo Fiber and authorize the city clerk to file said document with the Blackhawk County Auditor.
Second?
That motion's been made with the second. Yes, sir.
And what I had a few questions about, I was surprised that it was just one page. You know, I did speak to Ms. Felkley about it, and she explained it to me. I just had a couple questions, if Eric could be so kind to answer. Our wages and salaries are going up $500,000 in the 2026 budget. Can you just give me a brief overview of what's caused that?
Yeah, so as we bring on subscribers throughout 2026, 27, 28, our staffing needs will increase, mostly in like our network operations and customer service.
So how many people are you bringing on next year for that extra?
It's like
500,000?
around 9 or 10,
For 500,000?
and that's benefits and everything.
Oh, that's a good deal. That's $50,000 a person.
And that includes benefits too.
Or maybe that's just wages. I'd have to look at
I
the
don't
form.
know, I'm just saying, that doesn't equate
Wages
to
and
our salary and
salaries.
benefits. And the other one was on the building lease,
Mhm.
because I remember at one time we were renting offices at the Public Works for $1,000 a month and for $12,000 a year, and now our building lease is $175,000 a year.
That should have been the same as from 2025 to 2026, 175,000.
Because I see it, yeah, but I thought that we were paying like $13,000 a month for that building.
Yes, that's plus our triple net expenses.
Your what?
Our triple net expenses, so our share of the utilities and
Gotcha.
stuff like
Okay.
that. Yep,
Thanks for your answers.
yep, you're welcome.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith? Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder? Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you. We have Barkley Hill here today. If you're here, can you stand up? What about Sonata Muhich? Harris Trichich? Well, at least they're not here to hear me destroy their names like that. But all three of them are two equipment operators, two Barkley and Harris, and then Sonata is with the compliance supervisor at the Housing Authority. So congratulations to all of them if you are looking on. Could someone take number 1 in public hearings?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to receive, file, approve publication notice of public hearing for Cattle Congress lift station application for a state revolving fund loan.
Second.
The motion has been made with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The hearing is now open. Yes, sir.
David Dryer, 3145 West 4th Street. Don't we have any cash on hand? It seems like we're increasing our sewer fees every month, every year, but yet we always have to keep borrowing money to do things. I would hope that someday we get liquid, because it just doesn't seem like we do anything but borrow money in this town. Thank you.
Mr. Bennett. Thank you.
Randy Bennett, Public Works Division Manager. So there are some things that we do pay cash for. So a lot of our CIPP, which is our slip lining, we're able to pay cash for that. Unfortunately, this is a large enough project that we've got to borrow the funds for it. And the state resolving funds is the cheapest way for us to do that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bennett. Can I have somebody make a motion to close? Yes.
I move that we close the public hearing.
Second.
No, we have to receive and,
Oh, receive and file.
Receive and file. Yeah, comments on file.
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries?
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
I move that we adopt a resolution approving submission of an application for the Cattle Congress Lift Station State Revolving Fund Loan and authorizing the Assistant Director, Treatment Operations, Supervisor for Waste Management Services to execute said document.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Council questions? Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
if I could do number 2.
Yes, sir.
I move to receive and file proof of publication of notice of public hearing for Grand Huss Solar long-term land lease agreement with Waterloo Regional Airport.
Second?
That motion has been made with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The hearing is now open.
David Dryer, 3145 West 4th Street. I guess I'm confused on this. I think I asked this question before. So are we getting the money each month or each year, or are we giving them the money?
We're getting the money, but I'll have Mr. Kirschgard come up and talk to us about it.
Stephen Kierkegaard, Director of Aviation. We would receive a yearly payment depending on which type or which phase of the project it is. It starts at $50 a year during the development phase, moves to $375 during the construction phase. Then during production, we would receive $1,400 a year with a 2% increase per year.
Okay, since there's an airport TIF, does that money stay in that TIF, or does it come to the taxpayer?
That money would stay with the airport as it's a lease on airport.
To reduce our liability at the airport as taxpayers?
Right now, no tax money goes to the airport.
Yeah, one of the agreements historically has been to try to help to make sure that the airport sustains itself. Every now and then, there's been some capital projects that we would do to help partner with it, or the city would give some bond monies to help come in with matching grants that they receive from the FAA. But overall, when this succeeds, this will be a substantial amount of money that will be generated for the airport to help them continue to move forward. So,
Okay, good.
All right, thank you, sir.
I would also like to add that Ranger Power is here if there's any questions specifically for them, if the council or public has.
Well, just would love for you to introduce yourselves, and then after we close public hearings, then we'll move to the council to see if there's any questions from there. But please introduce yourselves and let us know who you are.
Hello, everyone. My name's Olivia Rodriguez. This is my colleague Sergio Trevino. We're both developers for Ranger Power, and excited to answer your questions today.
All right, thank you. So we're going to close public hearings if somebody wants to.
Yeah, I move to close the hearing, receive and file oral comments and recommendation of the approval of the Planning, Programming, and Zoning Commission.
That's not on.
Oh,
there,
shoot,
that one.
sorry.
That's next.
My brain
And
is.
second the motion.
Thank
All
you.
right, motion to close the hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing is now closed.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I move to adopt a resolution approving a long-term ground lease of approximate 759 acres of airport-owned property to Grand Husk Solar in the amount of $50 per acre upon signing, $50 per acre per year through the development term, $350 per acre per year through the construction term, and $1,400 per acre per year through the production term, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said documents.
Second.
That motion has been made with the second. Council?
Mr. Mayor,
Sir?
I would actually like to see this postponed until the next meeting. I contacted the airport director this weekend on Sunday because there was no associated documentation with this, the lease agreement. And in his email he returned to me, he said that this was gonna be pulled from the agenda. And then when I opened it up today, just at the council meeting, there's a 69-page lease agreement that I have not read. Has anybody else read this 69 pages?
I wish if I was included on some of these emails. Yes, sir.
That is due to, I did not receive legal's concurrence until this afternoon, or this morning, that we were okay.
Once again, I'd like to postpone this until the 17th.
I'd like to second that motion.
Is it 15th? 15th, I'm sorry, the next council meeting, I apologize.
Keep me involved on it.
Well done.
All right, I would say that would be a good motion for those interested.
I don't have any questions
He
right
has to,
now. I
he
haven't
has to
even read
review
this.
the documents. But, Madam Clerk, the motion to postpone to the next meeting.
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton-Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Number 3, please.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I move to receive and file proof of publication, notice of public hearing, and a request by City of Waterloo to rezone 0.33 acres from C1 CZ Traditional Zoning District to R2 1 and 2 Family Residence District located at 541 Albany Street.
Second.
That motion's been made with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The hearing is now open. Is there anyone that would like to speak to this particular item on the agenda? We'll take this up on the next meeting. All right. Going a second time?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
I
sir.
move to close the hearing and receive the recommendation of approval of the Planning, Programming, Zoning Commission.
Second.
Motion been made with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The hearing is closed.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I move to receive, file, and consider and pass for the first time an ordinance amending ordinance number 5079 as amended, City of Waterloo zoning ordinance by amending the official zoning map referred to in section 10-4-4, approving a request by the City of Waterloo to rezone approximately 0.33 acres from C1 CZ to conditioning zoning district to R2 1 and family district located at 541 Albany Street.
Second.
That motion has been made with the second. Council? Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton-Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion's been made with the second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton-Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I move to consider and pass for the second and third times and adopt said ordinance.
Second.
Motion been made with the second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton-Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Could someone take number 4?
Mr. Mayor,
Sir?
I'd like to make a motion to receive and file proof of publication of notice of public hearing, and that is for a request by Luke and Megan Finley to rezone approximately 1.18 acres from A-1 agricultural district to R-1, 1 and 2 family residence district located east of 930 East Orange Road.
Second.
That motion has been made with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The hearing is now open. Is there anyone that would like to speak to this item on the agenda?
Good evening. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Luke. That's my wife, Megan. And we are the ones that are would like to have this rezoned so we could build a home and reside there. That's all our purposes are. So-
If you could just let us know your current address.
I'm sorry, my current address, we live in Ryan, Iowa.
Right,
Out
right.
out in the country, pretty rural, but,
All right.
so
No,
it's
thank
about
you.
45 miles away. But
All right. And then if anyone has any questions, thank you. We'll get to that part next. So thank you. All right. Anyone else for comments? Somebody want to close the hearing?
I will. Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
I'd
sir.
like to make a motion to close the hearing and receive and file oral comments and recommendation of approval of Planning, Programming, and Zoning Commission.
Second.
That motion is made with second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The hearing is now closed.
Mr. Mayor.
Sir?
I'd like to make a motion to receive, file, consider, and pass for the first time an ordinance amending ordinance number 5079 as amended City of Waterloo zoning ordinance by amending the official zoning map referred to in section 10-4-4, approving a request by Luke and Megan Finley to rezone approximately 1.18 acres from A-1 agricultural district to R-1 1 and 2 family residence district located east of 930 East Orange Road.
Second.
That motion has been made with the second. Council? Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Sir?
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
The motion has been made with the second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
Sir?
I'd like to make a motion to consider and pass for the second and third times and adopt the ordinance.
Second.
The motion's been made with the second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you, council. Congratulations. Could someone take number 5, please?
Mr. Mayor,
Sir?
I'd like to make a motion to receive, file, proof of publication of notice of public hearing for the sale and conveyance of approximately 6.29 acres of city-owned property located directly north of 3470 West Airline Highway, including a development agreement.
Second.
The motion has been made with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The hearing is now open. Is there anyone that would like to comment on this item on the agenda? Going a second
Mr.
time.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing.
Second.
That motion has been made with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The hearing is now closed.
Mr. Mayor,
Sir?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution approving the sale and conveyance of 6.29 acres of city-owned property located directly north of 3470 West Airline Highway to International Paper Company in the amount of $1 and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said documents.
Second.
That motion has been made with the second. Council? Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Sir?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution approving an amendment to the development agreement with International Paper Company to sell 6.29 acres of city-owned property located directly north of 3470 West Airline Highway and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said document.
Second.
This motion has been made with the second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Could someone take just 1, 2, and 3?
Mr. Mayor. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
move that we adopt resolution number 1, a policy on the prohibition of the use of excessive force. Resolution 2, approving the suspension of civil service hiring practices for entrance level positions as authorized by Iowa Code Section 400.12A for a time period of January 7, 2026 through January 6, 2027. And Resolution 3, approving supplemental agreement number 2 with ACOM Inc. in the amount of $1,364,500 in conjunction with the fiscal year 2026 LaPorte Road Improvements Phase 2, contract number 1128, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said document.
Second.
That motion has been made with the second.
David Dryer, 3145 West 4th Street. Number 1, didn't we have this sort of a thing before that prohibited the use of excessive force?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. What we need to do on this is just mirror some of the state and federal regulations they
Some of the
didn't like the way
changes.
we had the language. And so this is just to mirror that, to be eligible for some of the dollars. So it's not drastically changing. It's just what we need to do to be eligible.
Okay, got to come up with times.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, then number two, I guess, why do we need to suspend the civil service hiring practices?
That's a good question, sir. We've done it before. Miss Missy, would you elaborate?
Missy Gearhart, I'm the Assistant HR Director. So the civil service hiring process is a process that we go through. It's determined by the Iowa State Administrative Code. And last year they updated it to where we can suspend the process for incoming positions, entry-level positions, which allows us to speed up the hiring process. So the council voted last year to let us try that for a year. And so we were able to try that for a year, and we sped up the hiring process by quite a bit. We were able to put people in positions an average of 50 days earlier than we were before we suspended the process. So,
Okay, I guess that still doesn't explain to me why we need to suspend it.
to help get people into positions faster than we normally would do with our old practices.
Okay, but the practice doesn't make it easier for somebody to get a job that it maybe isn't qualified. They still have to be qualified. We're not
Correct.
Right.
We're not changing the rules of how they get hired. Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
correct. Yep.
All right.
We have
Thank-
questions, and we do a panel interview, and we do scoring just like we always do.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the audience with questions? Council? Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you. 4, 5, and 6, please.
Mr. Mayor,
Sir?
I move to adopt a resolution approving supplemental agreement number 2 to a professional service agreement with Foth Infrastructure and Environment LLC, originally executed March 17, 2025, an amount not to exceed $81,000 in conjunction with the fiscal year 2026 Katowski Drive and Huntington Road reconstruction contract number 1123, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute that document. A resolution approving an agreement for the Iowa Clean Air Attainment Program funding grant with the Iowa Department of Transportation, an amount of $700,000 in conjunction with the construction of a roundabout at Hammond and Ridgeway Avenue, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute that document. And a resolution approving an agreement for the Carbon Reduction Program funding grant with the Iowa Department of Transportation, amount of $1,332,000 in conjunction with the construction of a roundabout at Hammond Avenue and Ridgeway Avenue, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute that document.
Second.
The motion has been made with the second.
I should have sat closer. David Dreyer, 3145 West 4th Street. But I didn't want to eliminate my back row status. Number 5, Iowa Clean Air Act. So we're going to take advantage of the state or the federal government for the $700,000 to make a roundabout there. That intersection, I have sat longer at a stoplight than I have at that four-way stop. If you put a roundabout in, I've been at roundabouts where I've sat longer at the roundabout, so that doesn't clean the air up because my engine's still running. Doesn't make sense to me, so I guess my question is, why do we need to do this, other than taking advantage of $700,000? And number 6 is basically the same thing, a grant money, again. So 5 and 6, like I say, I've sat longer at a roundabout than I have at a stoplight. I've sat longer at a stoplight than I have at Hammond and Ridgeway.
Right.
Thank
Yep.
you.
All right, Mr. Bennett? Oh, Mr. Dillevue, did you have the same question about this item or something else? Okay, well, let's go ahead and take Mr. Dreyer's questions. If you give us 1 second, sir, please.
Safia Elahi, Traffic Operations Director. So we applied for a grant for ICAP and CRP, and we received them to replace the stop signs with a roundabout at this location. The Iowa DOT did go through our applications and approved and considered everything, and they are giving us a little bit over $2 million to switch to the roundabout, and they've reviewed everything and came up with accepting that this will improve and reduce carbon, and they gave us the money. So
What's the total cost?
a little bit over 2.5 million.
Okay.
And we have grant for 2 million, and we've applied for a TSIP grant. We don't know if we've received it yet or not, but that's around 500,000. So.
All right, so I'm pretty sure there'll be other questions, so if you want to stick around somewhere, push the chief out his chair or something like that, you'll be good.
There's an empty chair.
Mr. Dillevue.
Forrest Dillevue, 1725 Huntington Road. My questions are on the one for Huntington and Katowski, the engineering on that. This is for the school. I assume it is the roundabout. And we have heard that the school is going to be contributing on some of these things in the roundabout. Will this be funded with taxpayer money, or will this be funded with school money? I know it's all my money. It comes out of the right pocket or the left, but I'd like to know which one's getting fleeced.
Yes, sir.
Jamie Knudsen, city engineer. A portion of it will be paid for by the schools, and a portion of it will be paid for by the city of Waterloo.
And the portions, could we hear that, please?
Right now, it's about this is just for landscaping within the roundabouts. Approximately 1/4 will be the schools and 3/4 would be the city.
Those aren't the numbers we heard previously on the roundabout cost.
This is specifically for landscaping within the roundabouts themselves, the grass areas inside the middle of the roundabouts.
It's the part that we maintain.
It's the parts that we maintain that's completely separate from the actual design and the construction costs for the roundabouts we've talked about previously.
So, Mr. Dillevue, that's just for the portion in the roundabout. It's not for the entire project. Oh, okay. All right. Council.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Giles.
Thank you. When I first was elected to council 4 years ago, one of the first complaints I saw on Facebook before I deleted that evil website was this intersection on Ridgeway. And it was constituent after constituent saying, we're putting roundabouts in all these other places. Why can't we put a roundabout here? If you have ever found a roundabout that you sit it longer than a stop sign, that roundabout is not functioning properly, please let us know so that way we can figure out what in the world is going on at that roundabout, because you should move faster at a roundabout than a stop sign by the inherent nature that you shouldn't stop at a roundabout. Typically what happens in that situation is the signage may not be clear or someone may not be knowing what's going on, and they stop and they wait for people in ways that they're not supposed to, or you're supposed to just keep going at a consistent slower speed. So it's not only supposed to be more efficient, it's supposed to be safer, because if there's an accident, it is less likely to be at a high-speed collision, which can happen at stoplights. So this particular roundabout is something that I've heard from the community for 4 years, and I know this is just my own personal experience and what I've heard personally, and everyone can hear something different, but I know that the neighbors in this area will be ecstatic that that area isn't so bad. And when I used to live in Ward 5, I had to go through this stop sign around 4 o'clock, and you would sit there for 20 minutes, and the line would go all the way back to, sometimes it would make it, what is that main road? I can't think of it right now. San Martin. Sometimes it would get all the way back there to San Martin. Like you could see it trying to go to get some tools at Menards, and you're like, there's a line here. Why is there a line here? Because of that dang stop sign. So I think that in the interest of the citizens, this will be a very positive. And the fact that we're able to get this for free, essentially, with just the hard work and grant money, thank you so much, Safia, for getting that done. This is a gift to Waterloo, and we should be very proud that we're going to get people through that faster and faster.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to echo Councilperson Child's comments as well. And if I'm not mistaken, I thought we did a study of some sort when the previous director was here for that area. Mahdi is his name, Muhammad. And so it was I was under the impression also that something needed to be done about that intersection. Oh no, my goodness, the traffic would be backed up to what used to be Red Lobster. So yeah, it's been pretty bad. So I'm also pleased that we're getting grant money to help out with that.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
I live nearby that roundabout, and to answer Mr. Dreyer's question about you shouldn't have to stop, the inherent, if there's heavy traffic coming from West High down Ridgeway, there may be a time when you might have to stop, but it's gonna be less than, burning gas. Every car that comes to that stop sign has to stop. Well, if it's less traffic, obviously there will be no stopping, so I can see where the savings would be there. But there will be some times where if traffic is coming, once that traffic starts, I've waited at roundabouts at that yield sign before. It's inevitable, but, and then on the other one, the school paying 25% of this, I hope this isn't a proceeding what's gonna happen when we start doing other stuff with the school. That was a heavy consideration by that neighborhood when when the Waterloo schools decided to put that there, that it was gonna be an added cost to the citizens of Waterloo to put that in that densely populated area. So I can see where some people might have some concerns whenever we have a supplemental agreement for working those roundabouts and the traffic in that area. So I would like to see us watch that continuously too, so.
Yep, duly noted. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I do remember along lines on Hammond when GMAC and Aquin was in full swing, and that's eased up considerably on Hammond for sure. My concern is on number 4, $81,000, and I think Mr. Knudsen said for design of the centers of the roundabouts. That seems kind of excessive to me, number 1. And I would like to know if the schools have even paid us anything of the money that we paid up front so far.
All right, Mr. Knudsen.
Jamie Knudsen, city engineer. No, I have not invoiced them yet for any of the bills.
Can you give us an idea how much they owe us right now?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Could you email it to us?
I certainly can.
Thank you.
Good. All right, Madam Clerk, 4, 5, and 6.
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
There's going to be a huge tighten right in All right, 7, 8, 9.
Mr. Mayor,
Sir.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the following resolutions. First is a resolution approving an agreement with Ian Engineering LLC of Lisle, Illinois, in the amount of $1,295,460 in conjunction with the Waterloo Fiber project, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said document. Next is a resolution approving a temporary easement agreement in the amount of $197 with Shatha Properties LLC, located at 1008 LaPorte Road, in conjunction with the LaPorte Road Phase 2 reconstruction project, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said document. And number 9, a resolution accepting and approving an acquisition contract and approving a deed to sell real property to the city of Waterloo for a partial right-of-way acquisition in the amount of $4,256, to a temporary easement agreement in the amount of $4,244, a total compensation amount of $8,500 with Steel Smith Properties LLC, located at 1911 East Mitchell Avenue and 820 LaPorte Road, in conjunction with the LaPorte Road Phase 2 reconstruction project, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said documents.
Second.
The motion has been made with the second. Comments on these 3 items, council? Yes, sir.
I have some comments on number 7. I just think that this cost is ridiculous. It's almost $1.3 million. We're going to pay $31,600 a month for project management. We're going to pay $6,000 a month for project engineering support. We're going to pay $38,000 a month for construction management, which includes 1 construction manager or inspector. We're going to pay $27,192 a month for 1 inspector, and if we have more than 4 construction crews, we're going to pay for an additional $27,000. So and then we're going to pay for their travel expense to go back and forth. So we're going to end up with $107,955 a month for a handful of people. And I mean, we're paying $27,000 for one person to do inspections for a month. I just think it's ridiculous. And then they've laid out January through December of 2026. So every month is $107,955. I don't know how we can incur those same expenses in January, February, and March, and November and December, when we're not in the ground and we're not doing a lot of work at this time, but yet we're still paying like we've got all these crews out there that are putting fiber in the ground. I just think I think they got us over a barrel, and I'm not happy with this price fixing right here. It's just almost $1.3 million for a handful of people. Thank you.
Any comments? Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry.
Randy Bennett, Public Work Division Manager. So just to be clear, that's if we had all of the staff that were performing those services at the time. So over the last few months, some of the inspection services have already backed off, so we haven't been compensating for those. But when we do come back into the spring and the construction would step back up, and if we actually got to the point where we'd have that many, that's how much those services actually we could go back up if we actually got to that full point. But I do want to clarify that we won't, like right now, they've already backed the inspectors off, so we're not compensating them for those that are not into the field. That would be if they were all back into play doing that. The other thing, when it comes to this portion of the contract too, is we are starting to come down to the winding end of the actual contract itself. So that's built into this. There's also a part of the agreement to where we can give notice to where we can also terminate the contract as we come closer to the foreclosure of it, when we have all the main fiber that's into the ground. And that part of that also can be whether it would be through Waterloo Fiber and or the city, depending on which portions could still be going on. So yes, those are in there, but we're only paying for the services that were being provided. So like right now, where some of the inspections are going on, especially like with the weather, they'll be doing more. So they'll be working on some of the as-built and some of the other testing. So while some of it's not necessarily the inspection side of it, it's the other portion of it.
So you're saying we're not paying $31,600 a month for project management?
Yeah, we'll pay for the number of individuals that's working at that given time. They've already backed off on some of the inspectors these last few months. So if you remember last year when we increased some of the inspectors, when they backed off, we also part of their billing, they backed off of that.
Can you send me a breakdown of what we're actually spending?
Yes, I can. Yeah, I can get some.
As opposed to this $107,955,000.
I mean, the biggest thing is trying to incorporate what it would be if when we were like at full, full thing. You have to realize we're to the point now where most of the conduit is in the ground. We don't have much left to do. Unfortunately with the weather, this is going to impede us now. But, once we get to the spring, there's not much left, and then it's going to be focused on the other aspects of it. But yes, I can definitely help you get a breakdown to clarify it.
Yeah, because it'd be nice to know what we're actually spending.
Yep, that's fair.
Paying for what you use.
Yep, more or less.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
who dictates the number of workers at every given month? Is that
well,
something you do or they do, or?
It's more of what, so as we were starting to get the conduit that was all into the ground on the primary, it's the workload is what dictates it. So when the weather was decent and we were able to do that, you have to realize when we originally did the project, we had like a set amount, then we ramped it up because we brought on more boring crews and everything else to accelerate the project. But in the process of doing that, you have to have more inspectors and everything else. So that's where we increased that. But now that actually has kind of taken place, and now that we're starting to ramp down because we've got most of the conduit in the ground, now it's starting to reduce some.
And then who oversees that? Is that something you oversee? So if they are, let's say they're not doing anything, I'm not saying that they're not.
So we
we know
get
how
daily-
some people, people can, it's human nature. If they would try to get paid for not doing anything, is that something that you monitor?
Yep. So part of what we do is working with Entrust. That's our main firm that's actually doing that. And then they test and verify whether or not that, or to oversee whether the conduit and everything's in. And then in conjunction with that, both Eric's team with Waterloo Fiber and then myself, we do go and verify, whether or not boxes and stuff we're putting in. I can tell you, I don't go see all the fiber, because that's kind of outside of my scope. But part of when they go all to do their testing and everything else, and then once it comes online, of course, to be able to provide that service, everything has to be functioning, so that way when we're actually having paying customers. So in the end, that's kind of.
So basically, I just wanted to know if it was you that's watching it or if somebody else
Yes, it's
is.
a cumulative both of
Okay.
myself and.
Yeah, that was
the
just
fiber.
a simple
Yes.
question. The other question I have is, in this runs till, are we still on target or ahead of schedule? I thought we had heard we were ahead of schedule. And then, so this is okayed through this agreement through, like, how long does this agreement last? Until the completion of the job, or is it gonna, I was trying to find it
We
here.
are assuming we don't continue, some of the things that has extended the contract is the fact that we had new growth. So like Paradise Estates and those things that we added to the contract that we originally didn't have. But so overall, are we ahead of schedule? Yes, we are. Some of it is dependence on the weather, but we do anticipate to have this done before the end of next year.
Before the end of next.
On the main portion of the conduit. Now, there's multiple facets to this, because when it comes to, the fiber to the home and then some of the backbone things, those are other aspects of it. But under the main line portion, we do anticipate that getting done within this next calendar year, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, could someone take 10 through 14,
Mr. Mayor?
sir?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution approving an amendment to the development agreement with Donnie RE Investments LLC, originally approved on July 7, 2025, regarding property located at 512 North Barclay, to change the purchase price of the property from $15,000 to $5,000, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said document. A resolution accepting and approving an acquisition contract and approving a deed to convey real property to the city of Waterloo for a partial right-of-way acquisition contract in the amount of $1,308, a permanent easement agreement in the amount of $5,799, and a temporary easement agreement in the amount of $786, for a total compensation amount of $7,893 with Metro Investments Waterloo LLC for the property located at 1326 LaPorte Road, in conjunction with the LaPorte Road Phase 2 reconstruction project, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said document. Resolution approving a temporary easement agreement in the amount of $715 with Metro Investments Waterloo LLC, located at 1329 LaPorte Road, in conjunction with the LaPorte Road Phase 2 reconstruction project, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said document. You said 14 as well, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Resolution accepting and approving an acquisition contract and approving a deed to convey real property to the city of Waterloo for the partial right-of-way acquisition in the amount of $3,315, permanent easement agreement in the amount of $12,282, and a temporary easement agreement in the amount of $465, removal of pavement in the amount of $9,626, for a total compensation amount of $25,688 with Metro Investments Waterloo LLC for the property located at 1328 LaPorte Road, in conjunction with the LaPorte Road Phase 2 reconstruction project, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said documents.
Second. That motion has been made with the second. Council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I had a question regarding Resolution 10. The property was bid on for $15,000, was purchased at that price, and then now they want it to reduce to $5,000, $10,000 less, because no one else bidded on it.
Noel Anderson, Community Planning and Development Director. Yes, the City of Waterloo originally sent out a request for proposals in this project, probably to over 40 individuals, to see if anyone was interested in rehabbing it. We only received the one RFP back from Danny RE Investments LLC. Upon finding out that he was successful in getting it, he did realize that he was the only one that bid on it. We did have a minimum bid on there of $5,000 per the policy. And so now he is asking to reduce his offer from $15,000 to $5,000. Obviously, the council can approve his request and change that amount, or you could deny it and see what his action is. Obviously, if he would then drop out of the development agreement and not want to fix it up, we would send it back out for RFP.
Mr. Anderson, is this common or unusual or ordinary? I mean, what?
I would say it's highly unusual. We have not had this happen before.
Right. And sometimes we do have more than a bidder or two, and we take a look at what they're actually going to do to reinvest back in that property. But you can't leave right now. I don't even see why you're walking away. You see, council has questions, but also though, what's the there's also incentive for this property. So if we reduced it to 5,000, would there be an expectation? This is in the targeted area as well, right?
It's the development agreement was written with the $5,000 incentive. So he basically was going to get the 5,000 back.
So it would knock off 10,000, and then we'd give 5,000.
Yeah, so if we approved it as requested by him to 5,000, he'd basically pay the 5,000 for it, have to fix up the house. And then at the end, we would refund him the purchase price of 5,000, and then we would refund, and then we give him the $5,000 incentive. So he'd make 5,000 in the end. Versus the current agreement with him paying 15, he gets 5,000 back per policy, and then he would get the $5,000 infill.
Okay. All right, don't go anywhere.
Forrest Dillaboo, 1725 Huntington Road. I do not like what this is doing. It's setting a policy. A couple weeks ago, we had one that was bid on. They said they were going to rehab a house and put up a fence. And they had taken bids. They allowed that person to not put up the fence, which to me totally changes the bid process. You are cheating the taxpayers when you do those things because it's a contract. And you're violating the contract between the buyer and the seller, which is the citizens of Waterloo. Each time the citizens come up short, the taxpayers come up short. This is why we are the highest tax city in the state or in the 40 cities or whatever. You just keep giving away our tax dollars. Yeah, I would like to do that. When I go to an auction and bid on a car and I'm the high bidder, I'd like to get it for free. That's what this ends up being, free. Instead of paying the money they bid on it, they're going to get it for free. I don't think this is a policy that we need to set for the citizens of Waterloo. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
David Dryer, 3145 West 4th Street. I have to somewhat agree with what Mr. Dillaboo said, but actually, he's not going to get it for free. He's going to get $5,000 from us to take it. That's a bad precedence for us to keep setting. If he agreed on the $15,000 in the first place, hold him to the contract. And that's my opinion.
Thank you. There's just discussion now. Council, Mr. Nichols.
My question was, would there be anything to preclude the same, if it does come back to a bid, would he still be able to apply for the next RFP? The same guy, same person?
Noel Anderson, Community Planning Development Director. Yeah, I mean, if we had to go out for RFP again, perhaps we would require a down payment amount to go with the original bid, so that anyone that would come back and try to change it would be out some money initially. We have done that before. We're required like $1,000 down. We don't always do that to try to encourage more proposals, but we could go back to that format. So at least if someone did this, they would be out some funds to come back and try to change it.
So my only thought is that if we did go back to RFP, he can come back, put in his $5,000 bid, be the only bidder, and get what he wants anyway. So, yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
So they're already in process on this property, is that correct?
I do not believe they've started any of the construction yet.
There is no, I mean, there's been some activity there. Windows are gone and
Yeah,
campers
they
in
may
the
have-
parking lot and stuff like that. So I thought maybe there was something being functioning in there. Nothing's been taken in or out of the building.
Eric Schrader, city planner. I'm not aware of any activity that the developer has started. The city has not deeded the property to him yet, so we can do some double checking into that. Could very well be vandalism.
Well, when I was just driving to the council meeting tonight, there was a,
That's not,
it's
yeah,
not
it's a
the same
different
property? Okay, very good. I apologize.
And so this discussion is always interesting because, you know, several years ago, to Mr. Delavue's point about the property tax rate, having a conversation with the county said, hey, we need for you guys to take a look at targeted areas around the community and see what you can do to try to help incent and bring up the values around those particular places. Because if you take a look at the map, you got places where there is, you know, 80% rental versus ownership. You have places where derelict landlords will get those properties and not fix them up. And so part of this is to say, hey, you have a property within area of the community that we were able to get from 657A, or someone is able to donate to us, because we want someone to come in and fix up those places, right? Because that brings the entire neighborhood up. And so that is the portion around the $5,000 down, the starting bid. That's also the portion that we reinvest back. The goal is, and I'm not saying whether or not to go from 15,000 to 5,000 at all. That's council's decision. But the goal is to go back into these communities and fix up and raise the value of the properties within there. And that's how we'll be able to increase taxable value all across the city and spread it around. And so the goal of this program was to at least have the person purchasing this have some skin in the game. And if they hold upon their responsibility, fixing this property up, making it a decent, clean, and livable and habitable property, like we said, that raises the value of that property. It brings up the property tax count on that property and generates more money overall, as well as quality of life and those things. And so, yeah, like I said, I haven't seen this type of, you know, going from there to there when there's going to be incentive given back. But ultimately, council, it's your decision if you want to do that. So, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry,
No,
mister.
that's okay. No, what, in the original agreement, what was the timeline to complete the project?
I don't have that right in front of me. I believe he probably had to start it within the next couple of months.
Sorry, because I know like I only have 2 meetings left, but I'm really struggling with this one only because of the precedents that, and I also know that they have other projects that we're waiting on for them to complete. What Mr. Simon is talking about is right along the river between, you know, so I know, I understand, but.
Eric Schrader, city planner. I don't have the agreement in front of me either, so I don't know the exact timeline, but I do know that it's based on conveyance, and we have not conveyed yet. So his timeline to start has not even commenced
Yeah,
yet, since we
I
have not
assumed
conveyed.
that, but I didn't. Would it typically be a year?
We usually either do 4 or 6 months to commence, and then usually do 14 months to complete.
So we're talking upwards of 20 months, almost 2 years. Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
When you're done, Ray.
Everyone else that have not participated has
Yep.
just.
Mr. Mayor?
Bozen.
No, that's fine.
He called it out first, so we'll go Mr. Bozen, and we'll come to you, sir.
Yeah, I have a real issue with this. I think we're setting a dangerous precedence. They've got X amount of time to get this done. One of the reasons they haven't started construction is they got the low bid and they haven't paid us. So we haven't conveyed the deed to them because they haven't given us any money. Had they done that, they would have had the deed and they'd be working on it right now. But I can't approve this. My only fear is that if we have the original development agreement, we could actually be out more money, because if we come back and rebid this and we get and that person bids it for $5,000, new development agreement, correct? And they would qualify for $7,500 in rebates, infill development rebates, and the 5,000 we already offered them in the first development agreement. So technically, we would be out another $2,500.
But it's also up to the discretion for the 7,500, if I'm not mistaken, right?
But, well,
It's
it's in a
council's
targeted
discretion.
zone.
Eric Schrader, City Planner. I just wanted to add one more thing. The other potential way that the city would be out is if we rebid it and get no bids. This property is in pretty rough shape. It will take a lot of work. I don't have his proposal in front of me, but I think his estimated cost for the rehab was like around $70,000. So it's a pretty substantial investment that it's going to take to fix this property up, since it is in pretty rough shape. So if we do rebid and get no bidders, and then it's going to cost the city the costs to demolition. Just pointing that out.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Childs, you were.
Were you done, Mr.
Yes, sir,
Rosen?
I'm done. Thank you.
Mr. Childs and then Mr. Foy. Sorry.
Yes, I think I'm in agreement with the rest of council here in terms of the precedent setting. What I'm frustrated about primarily here is not everything that a developer asks has to be brought to council. And I think this is one of the things that could have been stopped before it got here, because it's not normal to come up to accept an agreement and then ask to change that agreement because you heard something through the grapevine. That's what's disturbing me most about this, is that reneging on an agreement and then taking advantage of the generosity and the wanting to build this city and possibly reneging on an agreement that you made. So first question is, are there any stipulations that if someone reneges on this agreement, is there anything we're getting out of it? And then my second question would be kind of echoing Mr. Nichols' question earlier. If this particular development does do that, is he eligible to rebid, and should he not be eligible to rebid?
So there's no clawback in there since he hasn't paid any money up front at this point. And obviously, if the council denies this, you could definitely let staff know you want us to send it out for RFP and not allow him to, because he'd be deemed as not as a responsible bidder.
And then just, you were going to say something, I heard.
No, please go ahead.
I forgot.
So no. Normally we have the $5,000 in there because, one, we have them give a earnest bid because we found out that some people make a lot of promises and then they may not follow through. And so the time frame in which it takes when the person first bids on the house to when we have to tear it down, we assume that price is going to go up during that time frame, right? Somebody gets it, nothing happens in 4 years. Now, instead of paying $4,500 for demolition, now we have to pay $6,000 or $7,000. And so that's why we have the earnest bid. Like right now, if this person does not meet the timelines, then the city keeps the $15,000.
He has not paid it to us. So
I'm saying, according to this contract, and they give us the money for, the council says, no, we want to take we're taking the $15,000. The person pays the money, and then they have X amount of time to fix up that property, correct?
That is correct.
And if they do not meet the standards of that agreement, then what happens to the $15,000?
We keep it, and if they do not meet the standards of the agreement, they do not get the incentives back. So they wouldn't get back the $5,000 purchase price portion or the $5,000 infill.
So it's not necessarily a performance bond, but it is a dollar amount that's put in this that we recoup something if they don't happen to do it. And history, 10, 15 years ago, people would go out and get these places. They just wouldn't fix them up. And then we're left holding the bag. Then we have to come around again. Now we have to spend money to tear these places down. That was on our dime.
Right.
And so that's why we had the earnest or the minimum bid on these projects. So I think people are having a hard time. I can't speak for the council, but it seems like people are having a hard time of having an agreement to say that there's 15,000, and then now we're coming back saying only 5,000. Then we turn around and give that council turns around and give the 5,000 back, and then we give another $5,000 within that project. But I think it's important, though, in this situation, not for his office to make a unilateral decision on behalf of you. So I don't blame them for bringing it to you. You're the council, right? You're the ones that would give me authorization to sign this original contract. If that's different,
I do have
then
one.
it changes. So,
I've
yes, sir.
I remembered the question. We are making a big assumption here, which I think is not fair to the developer. Did the developer say he wouldn't do this if we didn't approve this?
Eric, I don't believe he straight out said he would not do it if we didn't amend it.
Okay, well, I think that's a big factor we have to take into account too.
Mr. Mayor.
Sir.
So I think going back to the precedents that we might be setting here, it'd be no different if we had 5 bids and the lowest bid was lower than by like 50-some thousand, and then they found out later that the nearest bidder was 50,000 away, and then they'd come back to us and say, well, we just want to pay $1 more than the next lowest bidder. I don't think we can do that, so that's why I think it's a precedent that we can't set.
It's slightly different in that it's a request for proposal. So if someone else would have bid 16,000, but they were only going to put 10,000 back into it with their plans, we could have still chosen this one at 15,000, knowing he was putting 70 into it. So normally, if someone would have been the selected RFP, and then they would have come back and said now they don't want to move ahead with what they submitted, we would normally then go back and review the other RFP solicitations.
And this one, why is this at 5,000?
Back when we started this process, that was the policy in place, I believe.
Yeah, we just changed.
Is that a compromise? But I would probably say at this point, we probably should
Sorry,
take.
can I ask
Yes,
one
sir.
other? So looking at the original development agreement, it talks about $1,000 shall be paid in certified funds to the city to be held in trust as earnest money. Why don't we have that? Because this was done in July. Sorry.
Eric Schrader, city planner. I'll have to review to verify, but I do believe we should have that earnest 1,000.
So I know we're all over, sorry, thanks, Eric. I know we're all over the place on this. Can we, and it seems so insignificant in things, but like long-term effects, I'm going to move to postpone this to the December 15th meeting, please. Because I want to reread the agreement and get some answers.
Second.
And understanding from the developer. Sorry.
Second.
Right.
But time for question.
Well, on the
postponement.
Right.
And in the meantime, can Noel get us all of that documentation so that we don't have to?
Please.
And can we get
dig
a
it up?
statement? Can you, the questions they have, but also something directly from the developer?
Just time to review their, because I was trying to find all of that from the July meeting. It's from, June 16th meeting. So all the information that we got from them, the proposal, all of those things would be
I'm
helpful.
sorry, this is table.
I know, sorry.
That's a win for the developer. But.
Well, I know, but I would rather us have right
All
information.
right, so to table to the 15th meeting, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
No?
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, and the vote for 12, 13, and 14?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, 15 and 16, no, 15. 15 and 16, I'm sorry.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
I'd like
sir.
to make a motion to approve the following resolutions. First is a resolution approving a right of entry agreement with RNK Investments LLC to enter into a city-owned property, onto city-owned property to begin construction of a 12,000 square foot commercial building and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said document. And resolution number 16, approving an amendment to the development agreement and minimum assessment agreement in the amount of $4,050,000 with Baltimore Fields LLC for a new residential subdivision located between Hawthorne Avenue and Eureka Street, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute said document.
Second.
That motion has been made with the second. Questions on these?
David Dryer, 3145 West 4th Street. I guess I need to have an explanation on 15 about if we haven't transferred it or whatever, but they want to get in there early. Have they paid their just fees, et cetera? so that they have the right to get in there, and if we haven't transferred the property, why should they be able to get in there early?
Right. Well, good question, sir. And that's part of the reason why they wanted early access. But no, can you?
Noel Anderson, Community Planning Development Director. So you'll notice on the consent agenda, we had two actions for this, the site plan amendment and the development agreement to convey land to them, a portion of the land for $1, a portion that they would be buying at $30,000 per acre to have additional land out there for expansion, which we have seen them doing in the recent years. They're wanting to move faster to try and stay ahead of the cold weather. I don't know if they have now at this point, but they're trying to get out there and basically start doing their dirt work. The right of entry gives them the ability to do that while it protects the city from indemnity and insurance and all that in case they were to get injured out there or something prior to it being deeded to them. But essentially it's for time. They are working to get out of their existing building on West Airline Highway because they're bringing a new business into town from Minnesota that'll employ about 15 people. So they're trying to start transitioning their way out of that building while the others come in as best they can.
So why have we moved too slow? Sounds like.
We just got the signed development agreement from them, I believe,
ask.
last week, and they set the date of hearing. We are moving as fast as we can.
Yeah. Well, you heard Mr. Dryer. Let's get it done. Council? Madam Clerk?
No,
Sir?
I have questions on 16. And because the original development agreement was April 17th of 2023. And I'm curious, and I know Mr. Fitzgerald's here, he could tell us where we're at on this project right now, how much infrastructure is in the ground, because their start date was supposed to be on the May 5th amendment to the development agreement, May 5th of 2025. Their start date was supposed to be June 1st of 25. On this amendment to this, or the change in this, we're moving the start date to June 1st of 26. I don't know why on May 5th we would approve an amendment to a development agreement that gave all of the incentives that should be in the TIF prior to approving the TIF. Because now we're stuck. If this passes tonight and we don't pass the Baltimore Fields TIF, we're obligated to give them 50% tax abatements for 10 years. We're obligated to do all of this other stuff that we should have never passed that development agreement May 5th of this year that obligated us to do all of the items that the TIF spells out prior to approving a TIF. I don't know how we got to this point.
So we need an update on the project, and we
That'd be
need
good.
Noel to navigate through Mr. Bozen's questions.
I'll go. Kevin Fitzgerald, Baltimore Fields, LLC. We were just short of paving. Weather hit, we couldn't pave. All this is doing is setting the fact that we will pave and start housing by June 1st. We're committed to be done with the state for the tax credit by December 31st, 2027. So we are moving along on our time frame as we said we would. We started right away after May. Crews got in there. We started putting infrastructure in. Weather hit. We just couldn't get the paver here in time.
So you'll get 18 houses in before the December of 27?
Yes.
Ready to occupy?
Yes, have to.
Yeah, or your housing tax credits.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Noel Anderson, Community Planning Development Director. So based on the previous speaker, we were trying to move faster. So we moved ahead with the development agreement while we knew that the TIF actions would take a little bit longer. With the council committed to approving that development agreement, we moved ahead with the TIF actions. I would say it's pretty common in a lot of our projects where we have differing actions. Sometimes we're vacating a street. Back when Ferguson was built, we were moving ahead with the development agreement while we were annexing land. So there's a lot of actions that a lot of times are moving at different speeds, and we're just trying to get them all done in the end to bring the projects to Waterloo.
But my question is, if the TIF isn't approved, then we're obligated for all the TIF actions in number 16.
I'm not an attorney, but I would believe that we are. We have stated that we will do that, and the council approved the development agreement by majority vote. So we are moving ahead with the actions to allow us to take to give those incentives that we've already approved.
And where would that money come from? Because we,
To borrow.
no, I mean.
If everything's approved according to what the council majority has previously approved, it would come out of the TIF in the form of a grant, rebate, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
If the TIF is now not approved because the council has changed their mind, we'd probably have to bond for it or pay for it out of the general fund.
Which is, I'm sorry.
No, but that was my concern, because we obligated ourselves on May 5th prior to a TIF being approved. And it bothers me because it's almost, I mean, we're held hostage to it now. Because we're obligated to give them 10 years at 50% tax rebates or whatever the cost of their infrastructure is. And we're obligated to give $5,000 per house to every homeowner that buys those houses, as opposed to the developer, correct?
That is correct, according to the new Elevate housing policy.
No, according,
And the
actually,
development agreement, which
according to
follows
the
the policy, yes.
Well, according to the amendment to the development agreement that we passed by majority vote.
Yeah, I mean, as staff, when we have multiple actions on a project and the council approves the first action, I have to assume that you're going to approve the other actions that also correlate to that.
I understand. Thank you.
Which is part of the conversation. If we did not have TIF to be able to do some of these projects will come from us having to borrow more money and do more debt if we want new housing and incentivize. And as we know, our neighbors in and around are doing some of the same things too, but that is one of the reasons why. But we just have to borrow for it if we didn't.
But then again, sir, but in April of '23, they had offered to put the infrastructure, the houses in.
Right.
And so we did have an agreement to do all that work ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We need housing. Council? Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton-Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Council. Number one, please, in ordinances. Somebody do the third reading.
Mr. Mayor?
Sir.
I'd like to make a motion to receive, file, consider, and pass for the third time an ordinance providing that the general property tax is levied and collected each year on all property located within the described Baltimore Fields urban renewal area in the city of Waterloo, county of Blackhawk, state of Iowa, by and for the benefit of the state of Iowa, city of Waterloo, county of Blackhawk, Waterloo Community School District, and other taxing districts, be paid to a special fund for payment of principal and interest on loans, monies advanced to, and indebtedness, including bonds issued or to be issued, incurred by said city in connection with said urban renewal project.
Second.
Motion's been made with the second. Sir?
David Dryer, 3145 West 4th Street. I guess I was sleeping or whatever, not realizing that this Baltimore Field TIF, it says urban renewal plan, but if it wasn't, if you were finally passing it, as Mr. Bozen has said, then that TIF doesn't have any money. So where are we gonna get the $4,500,000 to pay to the developer? If that, so then we're gonna have to bond for that, which if that.
Not all of it. I'm sorry to cut you off,
Okay,
sir.
but whatever. Some of it may come back on the taxpayer to finish paying off that bond if this whole thing falls through.
Mr. Anderson, can you?
Noel Anderson, Community Planning Development Director. The $4,050,000 is the value of the homes that will go out there. It's not the amount to be paid back with the infrastructure. And all of the money will come from the TIF, so there'll be no bonding, there'll be no cost by the city. So it's on the developer to build the housing faster. The residential TIFs by state code are limited to 10 years. So the faster they build houses in there, the more value is created in the TIF from them to pull from. And by agreement, they will pull 50% to pay them back for infrastructure costs. So there's no upfront expenditures by the city.
The value of the homes and what they're building is
Right.
$4 million.
That's
And that
over
creates
a
that
10-year period. And then we
yes,
start in 10 years seeing anything from Baltimore Field TIF to pay back to citizens.
What's his time frame that he has to have this built?
27 December.
And how the residential TIFs work by state code is there's a portion that goes to the developer, we noted. There's a portion that will go to build new low to moderate income housing throughout the city of Waterloo. And then the remaining portion will be released from the TIF into the general fund.
So a TIF actually helps another part of the city, which, okay, confusing.
No, I get it, it is. No, we got one more question.
Forrest Dillevue, 1725 Huntington Road. I think we're all getting a little confused on this situation. How many houses are they going to build by December 27th on the Baltimore field? And is there any penalty if they do not get built by December 27th? Or is somebody going to pull the rabbit out of the hat and put a new date on it, giving him any amount of time he wants?
He has to meet some state obligations, but no.
Noel Anderson, Community Planning Development Director. Yeah, so the project will build 18 new homes there. They have workforce housing state tax credits, which puts them to that timeline, or they will lose the investment tax credit, the reimbursement on sales, service, and use tax, and then they would lose the incentives from the city of Waterloo if they were past the timeline.
December 27th of what year?
No, December of 2027.
2027.
27, okay. Not the 27th of 27, okay.
Thank you.
Eric Schrader, City Planner, just wanted to point out a procedure issue here. You've got the action under the Baltimore Fields Urban Renewal Plan. There's two motions. The first motion, which is
We
what
only
you-
need to do the motion that's on the table.
Yep.
The other one's in error.
Error, Eric? Mr. Bolton.
Just for clarification, for Mr. Dryer, once they certify the debt and the TIF, so if all 18 homes are built, and then they certify the debt, all the property taxes that those houses generate, 50% of that will go back to the developer to pay for the infrastructure. 48.5% will go towards low to moderate income housing in Waterloo, such as helping with habitat or some of the other things that we do to create these homes. And it's not a cash cow for the general fund because 1.5% goes into the general fund. But that being said, so that's how that whole system works.
And then right now is generating 0. All right, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right.
So I don't need to read motion to adopt the ordinance?
No, we just adopted the ordinance.
Figured.
Somebody take number 2, please.
Mr. Mayor.
Sir?
I move to receive, file, and consider and pass for the first time an ordinance amending the City of Waterloo Code of Ordinances subsection 6A2, disposal of yard waste of Chapter 3 solid waste collection and disposal, Title 4 Public Health and Safety.
Second.
The motion's been made with a second.
David Dryer, 3145 West 4th Street. I guess my question about this, is this going to affect the yard waste dump? Or is this just the cans in front of the house and all that kind of thing?
I'm gonna have Mr. Bennett come up so he can say it on the record what it's doing.
Randy Bennett, Public Works Division Manager. What this does, it gives us the option to extend collection on either one of them, whether it be the compost site and or curbside collection.
So there may be a fee charged to go to the compost site?
No, not a fee. What it is currently the way the ordinance reads, there is that the site will be closed December through March. And what it does, it gives us the discretion, if the weather is acceptable, we can extend that. So it actually gives individuals a longer duration potentially to be able to dispose of their material.
So this really isn't about dollars and cents?
Nope, it's to hopefully give us the option to extend the service.
Sounds good to
We have
me.
to pay people, so it is.
Council?
I only had one issue with this. Appreciate it. And the verbiage, because you struck some verbiage in this, and one of them that got struck was schedules shall be mailed out to voluntary subscribers each December for the next year's service. So we struck that out of its entirety in this ordinance. And then it says calendars can be viewed through your internet site, your app. But I would really like to see the verbiage in there that schedules will be mailed out or available upon request.
Yeah.
Doesn't say that in there. We just struck
It
that
doesn't,
verbiage.
but when we have individuals that request it, we mail it to them.
Okay.
We still just do it. We don't have to have it say it. We just do it.
That was my only concern, because we have people sitting in this audience that don't have a computer at home.
When it was brought up before, when we said that we weren't going to do that, that was just one of those.
Okay.
But
That was my only concern. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We ready, Madam Clerk? Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Sir,
move to suspend the rules.
Second.
motion been made with second.
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
move to consider and pass for the second and third times and adopt that ordinance.
Second.
Motion been made with second. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
Yes.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Number 3.
Mr. Mayor,
Sir.
I'd like to make a motion to consider and pass for the second time an ordinance providing that the general property taxes levied and collected each year on all property located within the newly described, amended, and restated South Waterloo Unified Urban Renewal and Redevelopment Plan Area in the City of Waterloo, County of Blackhawk, State of Iowa, by and for the benefit of the State of Iowa, City of Waterloo, County of Blackhawk, Waterloo Community School District, and other taxing districts, be paid to a special fund for payment of principal and interest on loans, monies advanced to, and indebtedness, including bonds issued or to be issued incurred by said city in connection with said urban renewal project.
Second.
Motion been made with the second. Council?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
could Noel explain what this is and why we need to do it, or why we should do it, or why are we considering this? Reconsidering.
Noel Anderson, Community Planning and Development Director. So as we've discussed in the past, of course, we have TIF districts out there, or renewal areas. We have the San Martin TIF district. We have the Martin Road TIF district, which are actually, basically on different ends of an intersection right now. To move ahead with projects, you may recall we merged the airport TIF district with the Logan TIF district a number of years ago to create the East Unified TIF district. That allowed us to do some projects at North Crossing to build the infrastructure out there. That allowed us to move ahead with the Gates Park project. So again, it allows the city more options for the use of funding that we have in existing TIF cash versus bonding and borrowing debt for projects. Moving ahead to why are we doing this? The San Martin TIF district has the debt of the Lost Island theme park in there. A great project. We're seeing a lot of revenue coming in for hotel, motel, and all that, and growing tourism. But it was a lot of debt to make that project happen. So we are proposing to tie the San Martin TIF district with the Martin Road TIF district together as a merger for the South Waterloo Unified, primarily to move ahead with our state certified site. As you may recall, the city of Waterloo was one of the first state certified sites, which allows the state of Iowa to give us more leads for larger projects. You may recall the large solar panel project that we were pursuing was one of those. So we now have 211 acres at the corner of Amesboro and Highway 20 interchange. We have over $4.5 million in Iowa Department of Transportation grants to build the first road and infrastructure in there, as well as create a new roundabout at the southern portion of the Amesboro interchange. This would open up about 130 of the 211 lots by putting this infrastructure in with this merger. We currently have 5 businesses wanting to go out there. That would be about 20 to 26 million in new taxable value and probably 80 to 125 new jobs to the community.
Thank you. And how does this extend the duration of these TIFs? And if it does, how long does it do so?
The TIFs will be reset to have a 20-year time frame for the portions that are being not being released, because there's a portion of Martin Road that's being released and San Martin that's being released in the next year.
And we're still able to, as we incur debt by increasing the values in those areas by getting businesses into those projects, into those areas, we are still able to release dollars if they come in at a greater assessed value. We can still release dollars from that TIF into the general fund, because currently there's no value there.
That is correct. We can always release funds or release dollars out of the TIF districts on an annual basis, and we do that in different TIF districts based on where the projects might be. We've released funds from the Northeast Industrial Park before. We released funds from the downtown TIF district before. So we have that ability while we're working on a lot of these large projects to release from a different TIF district and try to increase that amount as we can.
Thank you. We had a project that was quite promising a few years ago come into this potential area, and then they backed out because of what's happened with the cryptocurrency market and all of that stuff. It's pretty obvious that this was going to happen to them. I even mentioned it at that council meeting that that's kind of a fad. Businesses that are potentially going into there now, are they more stable, or are there things that we're going to actually move forward on, not something that's going to come and then leave us?
We're very confident in the 5 projects that we're working with right now. One of them is on the consent agenda to go out in this area, and so the other 4 are not ready to be revealed yet, but they're ready to move ahead as soon as we can start getting infrastructure out there.
Okay. How quickly can we get the infrastructure out there?
That's a great question. Jamie Knutson, city engineer. It was just before Thanksgiving that we have finally settled on a layout for the roads, because for the last 3 months, we'd set something, then things would change. The developers would want to change this or move that. They want a little more land. They want it reconfigured. So we just finally are to the point now where we have a good layout that we can actually finish design. It's still probably February before we're going to get out to bids, maybe March, somewhere in there. We'd like to do it sooner, but it's just taking us a while with all of these projects to be able to nail down a layout. No point in putting anything out there and then having to change it later.
Great. And there's no plan of allowing that to be released for farming again or anything like that, like it was this past year?
There may be portions of it that still could be rented that aren't going to be served, probably closer to down towards Shawless or further east of where we're putting in all the infrastructure. There could be some of that, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor. Mr. Dilleville, you have a question? Yes. And I think it's about 80, yeah, I'm gonna go to Mr. Dilleville, but it's about 80 jobs or so in there. Mr. Dilleville.
Forrest Dilleville, 1725 Huntington Road. Last week, we had a special session to pass, I believe, the same ordinance. To me, it was kind of a secret one because I don't have a computer. So why did we have this special meeting last week and now it's coming back this week? Why couldn't we have done them both this week? Why did we have to have that special meeting?
Well, it was a sense of urgency for these projects. It's 5 projects that were going there.
You could have passed it
We
2
had
and 3
Mr.
tonight.
Foyt. I mean, this may not all work tonight. I mean, we'll see what council's choices are, but
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
I think Mr. Nichols, and then I'll come to you, sir.
Yeah, so just regarding the interest on this unified TIS district, when I was reviewing the agenda, I thought there was something regarding one of the potential projects, and it was a Wahawk data center, but I see it's not on here. I realize that. Is that so? Oh, it's on the
December 15th.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, all right. Never mind. Thank you.
Mr. Simon.
So, to get me up to speed on this, then, we bought this land a while back, correct? And then, what did we pay for that land? And then the infrastructure that we have to put in to allow these 5 other businesses to come in, which I'm assuming in their development agreements will be given away for $1. Can you give me a total amount of what we have in this 211 acres?
The city of Waterloo started to acquire it probably about 14 years ago. I don't have the exact numbers right in
Well, I
front of
won't
me.
hold you to the exact number, but
We spent about on average, $42,000 per acre or so, or 41,000 per acre. So it's probably about $8 million that the city has invested over a 15-year period to buy land out here. Now we are moving to, I guess, basically the second phase of, now that we have all the land assembled out there and we have the interest, we're moving to put in the infrastructure to start to build it out. We've seen a lot of great success on the west side of the airport recently, on some land that we had owned since 1944 by putting in all the infrastructure, and it's moving pretty rapidly for a lot of business development and job creation.
So that's common, that's something we do regularly, spend $42,000 an acre and then give it away for $1 and then put the infrastructure in. Is that what most cities do?
I would say yes. Cedar Falls just annexed, I think, 78 acres recently to the far west portion of their boundaries. They bought it. I don't know what their price per acre was
You
out there,
don't know
but they're
how
putting
much,
infrastructure.
you
but-
don't know how much the infrastructure is gonna cost to give me a rough estimate to add on to that 8 million for the land?
Jamie can get you that number.
So we're looking more close to $20 million
Yep.
for 125 jobs, obviously, which I like.
That's just the beginning, though.
Yep,
It
I
also
understand.
opens up,
Yep.
sorry.
Jamie Knudsen, city engineer. Rough estimates right now is probably around 12 million for infrastructure, of which we've got 4.5 million or so in state grants.
Okay.
I will say that one of the things that council did when we did the dry run sewer lift station several years ago, we increased the size of the force main at that time, knowing that eventually this area was going to develop. We designed the lift station itself so that it's big enough that we can pull the old pumps, put in new pumps to handle all the sewer coming from this area. So council has been helping to make sure that this is all long-term going to get developed, and so we have these pieces in place. And this is where this infrastructure will eventually drain to, is into that dry run sanitary lift
And
station.
that's because certain businesses that go in there require certain types of water and.
Yeah, depending upon the
Sanitation.
business, they may require a little, a small convenience store doesn't require a whole lot of manufacturing, may have millions of gallons that they're dumping in there. We just don't know, but we've tried to size everything so that we can do smart growth rather than having to build it once and then come back and tear it out and build it again.
But we're not limited on what can go in those areas because the infrastructure's been put in there.
Correct.
Very good, thank you.
All right,
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Foy,
Sorry, I'm asking all the question.
you don't have to be sorry. Just be
So can you
just be careful.
I know. Can you remind us around the state grants for how many acres and do you know where I'm going with that? Like you need a
certified site, is that?
yeah,
state
well,
certified
that, and then
site,
you
yeah.
have to have so many acres to qualify for the block grant, or I know that's not the name of it.
As a part of going for the larger project, and Director Durham was at the meetings with us in pursuit of that project a little while back, the state did go back and change their incentive program to help increase the amount of incentives available from the state of Iowa for larger projects. We had 183 acres out there at that point. I believe they put the minimum amount at least 200 acres, if not 220. And so I believe it's a 200. And so right now we are at a 211 because we wanted to be able to meet those new incentives for the state and chase the larger projects to try and bring more development to Waterloo.
So I'm just looking at. Thank you, Noah. I appreciate that. I'm just looking at Cedar Rapids.
Up there.
I'm looking at Cedar Rapids doing a 20-year, 70% tax exemption for 31 jobs. So for a data center, if we're doing this for the amount of jobs, I'd say we're kind of getting a steal for 20, if we're gonna have to spend 8 and 20,
Well, yeah,
so.
And for the 5 projects that we're talking about, we're probably talking about 37 of the acres of the 130, 160 that this opens up, depending upon final configuration that Jamie was noting. So we'll be able to bring quite a few more businesses and jobs out there.
Thank you.
Mr. Bozen.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, you're gonna take up X amount of acres in the first 5 groups. How does that qualify us to maintain a state certified site then if we don't have 200 acres? Because on the consent agenda, we've got something coming up on the 15th to give away 12 acres out there too.
The 211 is the total out there. So even though you start to develop it, as long as you have over the 200 acres, you still qualify.
So we're gonna have 20 million in this, as opposed to when Opus was gonna pay us $6.3 million and they were gonna put the infrastructure in. And then we were gonna schedule their rebates and tax abatements and everything based on their investment. Now we've become the developer.
That is correct.
We're
are
gonna be out
developer.
$20 million, and then we're also going to theoretically give this land away for $1 and also give tax incentives.
That is correct. That's what the competition is doing. I would say the nice thing too about the 8 million that we spent to buy the land, that was all from the San Martin TIF, so there was never any bonds or money from the general fund that used to buy the land. And that's where we're proposing the merger now, is so that we can minimize any bonding or anything like that and just use the TIF cash to build out the infrastructure now.
So now, and you mentioned that the San Martin TIF is not where, is not in peril, but it's, we've got so much debt because of the theme park. And I thought we bonded 14 million for that theme park.
That is correct.
And part of that bond was supposed to be paid back through the 20% hotel motel sales tax.
Yes.
So how much of that bond the rest of that bond is being paid for out of the TIF?
Only 300,000 is being paid by the hotel motel.
Right. But how much is the rest of the bond per year? Could you get back to me on that? Thank you.
Send it to everyone.
And I would note too, that San Martin TIF numbers, the other portion of why this makes sense is the portion of the San Martin district. And if you think of the total TIF district, we release the areas that have buildings built on them when the 20 years is up. So basically everything north of Highway 20 and east of Amesboro is at its 20-year time limit for the most part, except for the new construction just happening with the dentist office and the residential, but the senior facility. So the rest of those buildings are coming out of the TIF district. The vacant lots will reset in there for a 20-year time period. There'll still be some money that goes into the general fund even from the vacant lots, because the land may have been worth $20,000 when we put it in as ag land. It may be worth $100,000 now, so there'll still be some benefits directly to the city.
So when because there's 5 TIF districts in the San Martin TIF.
5 areas, yes.
5 areas, okay. So when San Martin 1 comes out, am I correct? That's $2 million not going into the TIF?
I don't have those numbers in front of me. That sounds correct.
Okay.
And Noah, what is the thought, like, if somebody's looking and they're hearing all of these things, if you had to make a prediction about that area, what do you say is going to happen from this merger for the vision over the next 5 to 10 years?
I would say, we have 2 different areas in here. Obviously, the Martin Road, which is the first TIF district portion out there. It's probably the smallest road, though, but it's Highway 63, Highway 20 interchange. Of course, we have a mix of medical. We have a mix of some retail, the Love's retail center, the trucking businesses, the busing businesses, Warren Transport's logistical center is out there. So we've got a pretty good mix of kind of some industrial, commercial, smattered in with some retail over there. And we kind of see the same thing over here in the San Martin Business Park. It is Zone BP Business Park, which allows for commercial and light industrial. So, right there at the interchange, we'd like to put the highest and best use of maybe some kind of retail or something that takes advantage of being right at the interchange. The layouts will show, I think, either 15 or 20 acres right there. And then you get into the larger lots for industrial development and even more. So as you get closer to Amesboro, maybe some offices or commercial development there.
So the vision behind this, in a blunt answer, is that this area is going to take off.
Definitely.
With this. And we know for a fact there's 5 real projects.
Yes, I mean, economic development's always somewhat of a educated guess, but based on what we're seeing happen in the Waterloo Air and Rail Park on the west side of the airport, we expect this area to go just as quickly.
I think that's what also people want to know too. They may not understand some of the conversations that council's having on a higher level, but folks want to know, are we going to continue to see stuff happening, and what your thoughts and your forecast about that? And your answer is yes.
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Mayor.
Sir.
Just one last question. So can we restructure this TIF area and take sections out of it? Will it stay the same size for 20 years? Can we roll sections out of that into the general fund, or do they?
Yeah,
have
on
to
an
maintain-
annual basis, we update the urban renewal plans at least on an annual basis. And so we can always, change things as we go.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
When you said the Martin Road and San Martin reset to 20 years, is that just the empty lots get reset to 20 years?
Just the empty lots.
Nothing that's already in there?
Correct.
Okay.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
No.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
No.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
And Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Sir.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bozen?
No.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Creighton Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Childs?
Yes.
Mr. Simon?
No.
Ms. Wilder?
Yes.
Mr. Foyce?
Yes.
All right. 14 and a half inches of snow this in 2-day period. I think from the forecaster was one of the largest, third largest 2-day event for snow. I want to thank all of our city crews out there working. This has been a tough situation, but that has been a lot of snow. I will commit that we will do a better job of communicating to all of you what's actually happening. We had conversation internally about how to do that, so I want to thank the community for your patience, but 14 and a half is almost unreal.
It is.
So thank you.
Sorry,
Make a motion to adjourn?
did that,
No other questions?
no, that didn't pass.
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
You gotta have,
What
you
was the
gotta have,
threshold?
it'll come back one more time.
Suspension of the rules failed, so it'll come back for another reading at the next meeting.
I just wanted to clarify, what was the threshold for passing?
It needed at least.
Six.
Yeah.
6 for the suspension of the rules.
6 to 7.
Sorry.
It's Simon and who
Yep,
else? on the-
yep. Awesome, okay. I second Mr. Simon's motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned, all in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned, thank you.